Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I brought in this liquid amber. I'm going to defoliate it. I'm shooting quite wide, as you can see. Might look at trying to trim it back a bit. I did take a big branch off the top. If you've been watching my videos, you might have seen me take a big branch back here. I did make one mistake of putting it. I should have had this side facing the sun, but when I put it back on the bench, put this side facing the sun, but that's okay. We'll just turn it around this time. Yeah, and we need to kind of maybe reduce it back in size. I think it's getting a bit wide, plus it's taking up so much of the bench, and with all this foliage, the part itself is not getting a lot of water. So if anybody's worried about defoliating these gum trees, liquid ambers, I have this one here. I'm just going to come down and show you. This is the one I did. If you're watching my videos, I did this about 3 or 4 weeks ago, defoliated it. This is the clump style one, and as you can see, they grow pretty rapidly, so there's no need to fear about them being defoliated. So I'll get on with that. I'm just gonna get my bin ready because there's gonna be a lot of leaves here, and I will just start clearing it all out. When it has this much foliage on it, you really need to be watering it a couple of times a day, which I find quite hard to do, to be honest, with work and everything. But if it's been a hot day, by the time I get home from work, the leaves are normally just starting to droop down, kind of like this, and then you know it's lacking in water again. But you give it a good watering, and in 10 minutes they're back up again. But at least if I reduce the leaves, maybe reduce the size of it, it might help with that. Some of these I'm not even just taking the leaves off, I'm just chopping the whole branch because there's so much foliage out here, it's too long. So I'm going to be reducing all this right back anyway, I think. Maybe doing some more drastic cuts on it. So this is going to take me a little while, so what I will do is I will pause the video and I'll keep going. I might not take every single leaf like with the last one, the little tiny leaves. I'll probably just leave them, they'll be okay. It's just all the bulk from the big ones. Any branches growing inwards, I'll just take them out completely. So yeah, I'll pause the video and we'll come back then and have a look when it's all done. Okay, so we've got 99.9% of the leaves off. Now, as you can see, it's a bit of an ugly looking tree without its leaves. There's branches completely in the wrong places, really. And apart from chopping them all off and starting again, it has this ugly bulge here too, which goes all the way around. I'm not too sure which I prefer is the front. It's definitely not a great tree. I've already taken off a lot of branches from up here, just so many branches coming from different spots on the trunk. So I've reduced it back, so now I'm thinking of reducing it again, but the decision is where to do that. Trying to figure out which of the going by between the trunk and the branches, which is the best front of the tree. Base wise, maybe here is probably the better of the trunks. Look there. It hides that scar. The only thing with that is you got this branch and this branch coming straight at you. Looking at it from this point of view, you have this stupid thing as well. Now this, you kind of hide this once it's in foliage, and the foliage kind of comes down quite low. But that is probably the widest, best part of the trunk. Here you have that big cut where I did, bring that down, that big cut there where I did the, that was a big root that was sticking right out like that. Here, part I don't like about this is these two branches are almost opposite each other, so I don't like that unless I get rid of one of them, which would possibly be leave one of the sides very bare. So if I was to make this the new front here, the tree would be kind of angling back that way, but we could bring it back up with this one, take off some of this here, but it's where like that branch coming straight at us there. If we reduced it right back, I don't know. So it's so ugly, it's hard to tell which is the best front. If I was to do it here, keeping this branch at the front and reducing it right back, but then the top of the tree, this part is leaning away from you, but we could get this to come towards you, fill out up here. It's a hard one, this one. It's one of my hardest ones to work with, this tree. I can't, like if I take off this branch completely, that's going to leave a lot of bare side, and if I take off this one, then your trunk's going to come all the way up to this one up here. So I can't see any way of being able to remove one of them. If this was the front, then this side branch is lower than this one. If I reduce this one right back, maybe push it out this way, you've got your back branch here. It tends to, you've always got this. Now it looks worse in here because of the shadows from the light directly above it, but I'm thinking, and the trunk is definitely the better trunk base here. You've got it with this at the back. So I'm thinking maybe I'm going to try restyling this as our front and try getting it growing this way. So yeah, I will stick a little blue tag in it there for the front, and let's have a look at what we can do with it if we do that. We take that one off there. At least we've got different heights. This one here, we can probably take right back now as well. Or do I? See if I take this one right back. Let me take this top off, this side off anyway. If we take this side off here, that pushes the branch over that way out the way a bit. I'll take this off here to open up the trunk. So now we've got it. So at least we've got a trunk line now up to this branch. Thinking if we reduce this branch back, like this will fill out with foliage again, but just it'll be a lot tighter to the trunk, so it won't be too bad. I'm just wondering now, do I take this one back more up here, because it's kind of, I think we'll have to take it back a bit more. We'll take it back to here. Now, this side branch, I'm going to reduce right back. I'll do it to outward facing branches. I think it's kind of coming forward a bit too much. This part here, I'm going to take that off altogether again. Leave a little bit room for dieback, like that. Now the trunk up here. I'm going to take off this big branch up here so that we can push the growth back this way more. It's getting some real drastic cuts today. I'm going to take this one back, and then I'll take this one off as well, like that. Now, the other thing I don't like is this branch here. It's over this one and it's dead straight, it looks dead straight, especially when you have it here. It's kind of following the trunk line. I think it's got to go as well. Yeah, it's kind of hidden in behind the trunk when you look at it straight on. And it's directly over this one, so I think I'm going to take it right back. And like that, with this tree, I'm not that bothered how much work I do now, because at the end of the day, if this doesn't work, I may end up just chopping everything off and starting again if I don't like the results, because it's definitely been a struggle to get this tree into some sort of shape. Now, this branch here, I think now we can reduce this one. Reduce some of these branches back so we can see a bit better what we're looking at. This one back here, we'll take back to here, this one off under here. We'll take it off up there. This branch now is quite long. It's so far away before we start getting. I'm wondering, do I take it all off? I'm literally on the verge of taking everything off here and starting again. And give it one more chance, and if not, we might take it off below that, get rid of that knuckle and start adjust the trunk again. I think I gotta take this one off, it's too long. Now we're kind of getting to the stage where it doesn't matter which front we have. Do I leave this or do I take that as well? This kink up here, it's never going to be great. I'm starting to think if I was to take it right back, to here and start growing it up, I think that might be a decision that has to be done. This kink up here is very thick as well. Okay, I think we're going to go for it. Don't know if this one will cut through that. I'm gonna go. I think if I take it here, leave room for dieback. Some major chops today. Okay, I'm getting it so I can fit the whole thing in the camera now at this stage. So this is what we're left with now. And I'm thinking giving us a good. I'm still going to take off more off this one, I think. This part here, I'm going to take this off. I'm going to reduce this one back even more. Okay, I think we're going to have a bit of a better base to start with. This one will be pruned back once it's died off a bit. But we have a bit of a base now to start with and start growing the tree from scratch basically. We'll clean up a few of these cuts here. This was a nursery stock tree, and they've just kind of kept hedge pruning it, I would say, and that's right, it's got so many branches coming out of the same spot. They've just kept pruning it back and just letting all the branches grow crazy. When I got it, it was a massive ball on the top of foliage, and each year I've taken more and more off. Well, this year I've definitely taken the most off, but I have faith in it that it'll come back the way these guys grow and the way this picked up now. So they're really starting to grow now, so I think it won't be long before we get this filled out again, and at least we will be starting with some fresh young branches instead of these big thick ones. Sometimes you just got to take chances with these kind of trees, otherwise I would spend the next God knows how many years looking at it and just never liking it. So I may as well do it now and hope everything goes okay, and at least we've got a basis of a tree that we can work on, and we're not always hating the look of it. Okay, so the last thing we'll do is throw a bit of cut paste on all that. And hopefully we'll just give this a bit of a clean here too. This was not what I was planning on doing on this tree when I brought it in today. My plan was to just defoliate it and maybe give it a little pruning back, but once I saw the branch structure again, it reminded me how bad it is. So once and for all, we'll have to try and grow it into a bit of a better tree. And like I said, it still comes out a bit bad, we might just do the Holy Mary cut and cut it straight across there underneath that lump. I was pretty close to doing it today, but I kind of chickened out at the last minute. Just decided we'll take all the branches off instead, and we'll start from there, see how we get on. This in, try and keep any diseases and that out. Just put a bit on them ends. Okay. I do have a lot of cuttings now from that, but surprisingly, any time I've done a couple of, well, I've done maybe 3 cuttings off these, and they never seem to take for some reason. I don't know. There's some pretty big ones here. Maybe we'll give them a try. If they take, they take. If not, it's no loss. Okay, so we don't know where our front's going to be again. We'll have to decide that. This is heavy. I'm still not completely happy with these two. There's one slightly above that one. I don't know if this would work as the front, because this is kind of coming towards you, so I don't know. We'll grow it, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I'll take that, put it back on the bench, and we'll keep our fingers crossed. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see the outcome of this. I'll give you an update in a few weeks, hopefully to show you all in full of leaf again. But if not, then at least we're not looking at an ugly tree. Well, not as ugly as it is now any longer. Okay guys, so again, as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and we will see you on the next one.